Can you guys see? I got the white shirt on, but I got nothing in my hand. Because I made the game time decision. I used my will to not bring the coffee I had. I had these grounds. I wasn't sure if they were decaf or calf. I was feeling pretty electric on the workout this morning. And we're still adding little bits, little sets, a little bit more weight every single time. But I didn't feel that calf. So I was like, screw it, we're not bringing it. No calf on the walk. Cold showers. I hate them. I don't think I've consistently done cold showers more than like 2 weeks. It's like you do a cold shower for 2 weeks. By a week and a half, you're like telling your buddies, like, yeah, dude, I've just been doing cold showers. It's so much better. 2 weeks go by, drop the cold showers. You stop doing them. I don't know anyone who's consistently done them for months, but definitely not me. What I will say though is that the sporadic cold shower, because I think it's arguably better to do it not as consistently. I'm not saying like once every 2 months, even though that's pretty much what I do. But I think the ideal would probably be like twice a week, because you don't give yourself enough time to get used to it. And that's where all the money is. That's where all the value is when you're sitting there, your body doesn't want to go in. Your mind doesn't want to go in. No part of you wants to go in. Like, you just genuinely don't want to go in. Like, you'd rather just not do it. Like, why? It's not that deep. But then it's hopping in when you have that feeling where all the value is. Morning. Some beautiful dogs walking by. Anyways, that's where all the value is when you hop in when you don't want to. You're using your will to overcome your body, to overcome your emotion. You're getting tapped in with your deeper self, your deeper self-control, your deeper will, and you're using it. You almost disassociate a bit from all of the pain and emotion. Last night I was doing an assault bike workout, and I disassociated differently than I'd ever had on the last. I did 10 sets of 4 minutes, 2 minutes rest, just cranking it. And on the last one, I was just going. I closed my eyes and I just separated from the pain. And it genuinely felt good. And I was able to push a little harder. It felt like my limbs were just like a tool. And I was just cranking them. I was like, yep, right, left, right, left, right, left. Just using my will. So it's like a muscle you build. Look at this dog rolling around. Wow. So I hear my friends and just people all the time, because I'm just out of college. People are often in social situations asking about like, what's your work? Do you enjoy it? Here's the answer I always hear. It's like, yes, I'm learning a lot. What I've come to know, and this doesn't apply to everyone, my roommate, he's learning a lot, and he's genuinely learning a lot. But it seems like it's somewhat of a cop-out answer in a way. It's like you don't really like what you're doing. You're not learning that much. So what's something that's socially acceptable to say? People won't go too in depth, because like, what if you're an engineer, you're gonna like poke, unless you're an engineer and someone else is an engineer and they're like, yeah, we're learning a lot, you're gonna go poke into what they're learning about? Probably not. So you're allowed to say surface level. I remember Alex Hormozy, love him, hate him, he had a really good quote one time where he was just like, yeah, I was a consultant. And so I did nothing, but it sounded cool at parties. And I was like, this is exactly what the answer I'm learning a lot gives me the feelings of. Again, I have friends that are learning a lot. So it doesn't apply to everybody, but I've just seen this. And I had this thought last night. I hadn't thought about this in a while, probably because I'm 22 now. And the older you get, the less you're going to have this thought. But it's basically this feeling, and I know other people have had this, and I remember talking about it, where you look back at yourself 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago, and you literally cannot recognize that person. You look back and you're like, wow, I'm literally a different person. If I went back in time and I shook that person's hand, if I went back in time and I saw Liam 2 years ago and I shook his hand, I'd be a different person. And then you have periods where you're like, I look back 3 months ago, I'd be the same person. Probably talk about the same stuff. Well, that's where learning is. You're really learning. I think I've really been learning over a given period of time when I can look back and not recognize that person. And it doesn't mean you have to be a completely different person. It can be specific to a few things. It can be more holistic. It can just be a state or a frame of mind. It could be a skill. It could be something you learned at work. Maybe you learned how to code. And 6 months ago you couldn't code, now you can. You look back, you're not that person anymore, genuinely. Still applies to that stuff. But I found that as I get older, it becomes harder and harder to have that rate of learning where I look back and I'm like, yeah, I'm genuinely a different person than I was before. This popped in my mind because in order to, at least for me, I've only gotten those learnings, those transformations, when I've used my will to make a decision that I know in my heart is a good decision, right? It might not be logically correct. It might be hard to reason for why I want to do this decision, but I make the decision. I do it out of love. I don't give into the fear, and I commit, and I use my will, and I overcome the emotion, I overcome the pain. And it's in making those decisions that I've learned the most. It's hard to make those decisions, especially as you get older. You get more secure. There's security all around you. You don't want to take risks. So then you make less and less of those. The next thing you know, 2 years go by and you look back and you're like, wow, the person 2 years ago is not much different than the person now. I haven't learned anything. Maybe that's okay if you're older, but for me, in my early 20s, my 30s, 40s, I always want to be constantly learning. When I'm a parent, I want to look back and be like, wow, I can't believe I did that. I've learned so much having these kids over the past 6 months. When my next kid comes, I'm going to be treating it completely differently, using these lessons. But people don't want to take that cold shower because it's easy not to. I think it's sometimes in life it's a blessing when you're forced to take the cold shower, when it's not a choice. People who get ahead, it seems to me that they make the choice and they are able to control their will. They're able to make that decision no matter what their emotions, what their mind is telling them. But for some of us, it's a blessing if it gets thrust upon you. Because then you have no option. You literally have no option. You find out who you are. When it gets thrust upon you and you're thrown into the cold shower, you're in the cold shower. You are in the cold shower. There are no other options. How are you going to sit in the cold shower? Are you going to sit and are you going to cry? Or are you going to take deep breaths and lean into it a little bit? Get it more on your chest. Get it on your back. More deep breaths. Go a little deeper. Go a little longer. You figure out who you are. when those moments are thrust upon you, because you have no option. The more you can take cold showers on a regular basis, at least, and I'm saying cold showers again as an analogy, I hope you guys can catch on to that. When you start learning lessons, you start looking back maybe week by week, wow, 2 weeks went by and I don't recognize that person 2 weeks ago. Learning on the job of life. Another thing I wanted to talk about, because I was talking to my buddy about this last night. Had this conversation perhaps 50 times over the past 6 years, where I've been really fortunate to meet a lot of people that I look up to. Really good family men, really good businessmen, whomever it is, whomever is successful, extremely successful at whatever they're doing. And there's a habit to put these people on a pedestal. It's super easy to do, especially with social media nowadays. You think they're special. You think there's something that they do that you can't do, right? They're just a little bit different. And every single time I meet people like this, they're regular people. They go to the bathroom. They eat that snack when they told themselves they probably shouldn't eat that snack. They stay up a little too late. Whatever it is, they make mistakes too. Everybody's human. Don't forget that. And so I think there's this fear that permeates a lot of people our age, men, women, where they compare themselves on social media to all these people that have done a lot. Don't get me wrong. They've done a lot. They've achieved a lot, but they've worked for it over time a lot of the times. And it didn't just pop up into their life. And so if you can internalize that and remember that, it makes it easier to get in the cold shower, because you have it in you. It's not anything special. You have it inside of you. You just need to quiet whatever voice. Like, I have this voice. Everybody has this voice. David Goggins talks about this voice. It's that little kid voice. Everybody was a little kid at one time. Everyone was crying to their mom. Okay? That voice is still in everybody. But you slowly quiet that voice by developing an acumen and a history of action and achievement that just kills the voice, really. Because clearly it's fake. It's not accurate. So when you see all these people online doing all these cool things, and you're constantly comparing, and you think there's something special about them, then that voice gets a little louder. You don't have it in you. You're not good enough, right? You're too weak. You don't have as strong of a will, whatever it is. Kill that voice. Kill that voice, because it's not even accurate. That's just the devil on your shoulder speaking to you, right? Get rid of that voice. Use your will. Take a deep breath. You are in control. Now forget about your emotions. Take a step back, disassociate from your emotions a little bit. Disassociate from your thoughts, right? Feel your heart. And then do whatever you need to do. Get in the cold shower. Seriously. Because then you're going to learn. Yeah, it might suck, it might hurt. But again, once you make that decision and you're in the cold shower, you're not outside of the cold shower anymore. You're in the cold shower. The cold water is on your chest, right? You find out who you are. You realize a lot of times it's not that bad. I've talked about this before. Like, people often think they're just gonna die. It's like, if I do this, if I leave this person, if I say this to someone, it's almost like in their head they think they're gonna die. Most cases, you're not gonna die. You're gonna, maybe it sucks for like a day or two. You're gonna feel way better afterwards. And that's where you do all the learning. You realize, oh, it's not that bad. Next time I'm not going to be as scared. And this is a muscle. Again, I need to repeat that. It's a muscle because it goes away over time. The more you are getting in the cold shower, you're exercising this muscle, the more you realize how easy it is to do things and how not bad the consequences are. Seriously. And the less you do, the more you become afraid of literally everything. And everything becomes about security. Everything becomes about not taking risks, preserving your existing state. And then you feel trapped because you know there's more out there. There's more for you to do, right? Your heart is screaming that you have all of this life inside of you. And your emotions, your thoughts are just holding it back rather than just jumping in, embracing the suck. And for me, what I've always noticed is when I do something hard, again, it sucks. It could be painful. It could be physical pain. It could be mental pain, right? There comes a moment when it's not that bad. And I'm like, damn, it really isn't that bad. And then you feel free. You're like, wow, this isn't that bad. Nothing can really impose itself on me, right? It's all internal. It's all inside. The Bible talks about it over and over again. Jesus mentions it over and over again. How these worldly things can't impose themselves on you. You have God inside of you. You have God with you. And so don't be fearful about all these worldly things, because at the end of the day, you have yourself. And God has taken care of you. So, I hope you guys listen to this. Wake up tomorrow, maybe in the evening, tonight. Turn that knob on your shower and turn it to just a little inch, right to the cold setting. And then when you're sitting there shaking, you can feel the cold water without even touching it. And your mind and your body is telling you not to get in. I want you to feel your will and feel yourself overcome it and step into the cold shower. And then feel the pain for 20 seconds and feel it go away and dissipate. And I want you to think about that as an analogy for so many things in life, where you feel the pain, but it dissipates, and then you're free. And now you've just taken a cold shower, and now it's time to get after it. So, have a great day, guys. It's a beautiful place, this world. Go have fun in it. Go make someone smile today. Go shake someone's hand. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.